when it come back, I'ma give back my bad. When a check hit, the direct hit, I'm glad. When a check missed, the direct hit, I'm sad. Like, who's that knocking at my window? They say that it's the money, I'm like tenfold. Over and out. That's gon' make you up like a limbo. She said she not a, she an a. Why you do that like that? It's a lot of money. Why are you mad like that? Ooh, I'm in my new bag, my bag. You ain't getting too bad.
Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be a great matchup between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Washington Redskins. With that, we'll get up to FedEx Field for the Washington home opener. Standing by, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Hot and humid, Coach. Those are the descriptors right now just outside of Washington, D.C. Water's going to be needed early and often today at FedEx Field. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Washington Redskins. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we look at this Redskin team as they interplay here. They come in off a good win on the road, and now they hit the home opener at 1-0.
And they looked awfully good last week and came away with a 2-touchdown victory. They did have a few reasons for concern defensively, but all in all, they'll take a repeat here if they could get it.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Eagles, they too were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
And I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
Two teams here fresh off Week 1 victories. Who can keep it going as we're underway on EA Sports? This is fielded at the goal line. And his guys are going to start their drive right at the 20-yard line. So out comes the Redskins offense now onto the field. They are led out by the 15th overall selection in 2019, former Ohio State Buckeye Dwayne Haskins. Geis, his first carry of the game. And he'll be upended after a gain of 5, up to the 25-yard line. And here a look at the offensive starters for the Redskins.
I thought Brandon Scherff was one of the best tackle prospects I'd seen in recent years coming out of the University of Iowa, but didn't surprise me at all when Washington decided to move him inside to guard. He has the requisite size that you're looking for, but I also think that he has the great movement skills in order to pull, trap, and also climb to the second level for blocks downfield. I think he's going to be a stalwart for them for years to come.
It's a first down on a gain of 10. Now after the run by Geis, here's 1st and 10. Here's Haskins to throw. And this one complete to Smith. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Now Haskins to throw it. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone.
Well, things are looking pretty darn good on this first drive, aren't they? Came right out, set the tone, this time with a big pass play.
And if the peek behind the curtain that they gave us for their game plan, I don't think that's going to be the last one we see.
I think you're exactly right about that.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete. Nigel Bradham, the linebacker, right there on the coverage. For the Eagles, a look now at the starters on the defensive side of the ball. Now, they've been a very good unit against the pass, defending at 5th best in the league.
And I'm struggling a little bit trying to really categorize this crew. They're top 10 in the league against the pass, but the bottom half of the league in sacking the quarterback. That doesn't make sense. Imagine if this group ever put pressure on the QB, they'd easily move into the top 5.
And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you call.
So now then, the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. Going to give it to Love. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. Bryce Love, his first touchdown of the new season. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. And they do exactly what they wanted to. Opening drive, they get into the end zone. They do it on the ground.
And not only is the person lugging the ball happy, of course, because he got it into the end zone. How about the offensive linemen and receivers who are blocking for him? They have to feel great about themselves, sticking it in the end zone on a running play.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. They'll be led out by their 6'5 quarterback out of North Dakota State. It's Carson Wentz.
He didn't have as many throws or plays in college as many of the quarterbacks that were coming out in the draft, but he maximized what he had. Ended up winning 2 national championships as a starting quarterback at North Dakota State.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line.
When you lose that kind of yardage on a pass play, you often expect it to be a sack. But that wasn't the case there. They completed the pass. Probably would have been better off just dropping the football and making an incompletion as opposed to catching it and losing that kind of yardage.
So that'll back them up 5. And that false start penalty is certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. Draw play. This is Hines. A good positive play there, 9 yards, but still 3rd and long.
That was a good run, and it got to the 2nd level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle, and oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop. But when you hit him on the move like that, he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam. Oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. This is Hines trying to run inside, but nothing there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Here's the offense, and sometimes you got to show love to the big guys.
That you do. And we're talking about Jason Kelsey now, not Travis, his brother, who plays tight end. Jason lines up at center, a threat to go to the Pro Bowl each and every year.
They fake the give. Now Wentz. Ertz has it left side. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. A gain of 13. It's a 1st down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Watch the screen, watch the screen. Watch the screen. 49.
Now it's Hines. And the ball is knocked out.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home, the next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. Wentz on the give to Sanders. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 13. And now a look at the Washington defense.
Landon Collins is built like your typical tackle-first safety, but he does have the ability to play the deep part of the field.
On 3rd and long, it's Wentz. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. Montez Sweat with a big-time sack on 3rd down. It's a loss of 7.
We always talk about how teams are so competitively matched and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
Yeah, you know he hated taking the loss there on third down. Well, maybe a little bit of an anxious moment there as that ball got closer and closer, but it does curl in.
Yeah, actually did a little bit of a slow dance there with the left upright, didn't it? But had just enough space, as you said, for it to curl in.
As this unit comes back out there, let's focus in on Darius Geis. Last week, a strong showing, up over 100, also 2 trips to the end zone.
It's the kind of week that if you said, listen, I'll let you have this type of a game each and every week, you'd sign up for it. You wouldn't try and get too greedy. But let's face it, good runners always want to be a little bit more greedy at the end, try and squeeze out every last yard. He's going to try and duplicate that and exceed it in this game.
He was a third-round pick, not rounds 1 or 2, but this franchise, they think he can be something with time.
There were a few teams that thought he would go in the first round, late in the first round. He ends up sliding to the third. So a lot of teams think now maybe this group got a steal. They've got a chance to have a really good player here if he can develop.
They added a lot of talent to a roster that really needed an infusion of youth. They got a very good infusion of youth.
And they didn't really reach to get anyone as well. They stuck to their draft philosophy, got the best players they could at the time they were drafting, and inserted them into their lineup.
The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up, keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. So well done there, and these punters, they get more specialized and better each and every year, don't they?
They sure do, and now it's really not the American punters. It's the Australian punters with their kicking academies and that flat drop and just kind of kicking the nose of the football. They're able to almost stop it where they want to, like a good golfer can check one up.
And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards. On first down, it's Hines. Oh, he's got some breathing room. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Naeem Hines, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Eagles have taken the lead. And those are the highlight reel runs you dream of right there.
When he gets a seam and just gets through it, how about the explosiveness? The burst to get there to begin with, and then once he's in full gallop, good luck trying to track him down.
And those plays so demoralizing for the defense.
Absolutely, because you've done so much work trying to keep people in front of you. When they're past you and behind you, that's a tough one to swallow.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go.
Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Fletcher Cox, the former Mississippi State Bulldog, ringing the cowbell there on the sack. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Well, here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. 19 yards the pickup there. Move the chains. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Here's Geis. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 10 more there and another first down. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
The throw by Haskins complete to McLaurin. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 10-7 our score after 1 right here on EA Sports. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Check 26, check 26.
Looking to throw, Haskins. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
his position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Out of the shotgun, Haskins. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Malik Jackson, the 6'5" D tackle with a sack.
Well, that was point counterpoint, wasn't it? They decided to throw for it on 1st and goal. Instead, the defense counters with pressure, and the defense wins, getting a big sack.
After the sack on 1st down, Haskins. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Derek Barnett able to maneuver in for the sack.
I'm starting to feel for that. Quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Haskins will throw. Looking for his tight end read, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Sidney Jones. The Red Sea parts, and there he goes. And he'll score. Touchdown, Eagles.
Yeah, good job. That's the way you make it.
3rd down, passing down. They throw the extra defensive back in there for a nickel package, and it worked out.
And it's not anything that you would think is just great strategy. It's just that when you have 5 defensive backs on the field and an obvious passing down, it's a lot tougher to complete a pass. And on that play, they completed it just to the wrong team, and it cost them 6 points.
Extra point try good by Gano. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And last time, decent field position through the pick 6. Obviously costly. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Rasul Douglas picks it. And it's a terrific return here as he's going to have him set up with a 1st and goal right at about the 6-yard line. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on.
And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Nyheim Hines with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. And it was a tight window. He knew he had to rocket that thing in there. He got it done.
And when you're able to complete one like that, your confidence has to just go sky high. You just mentioned it. Tight window, zings it in there despite excellent coverage. Result, touchdown.
Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. You can count his carries on one finger. They've only given him the rock one time, Charles. What gives?
So we can't draw any conclusions just yet. He has to touch the ball multiple times in order to get into a rhythm and have a chance to have success. You know who else gets into a rhythm? The offensive line. They feel better about what they're doing when they know they've had multiple opportunities to get it done.
Yeah, well, the conclusion we can draw so far, they're losing here in the second quarter. Let's see if they change tunes. On 2nd and 10, Haskins toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They look lethargic, out of sync, and this shows on the scoreboard.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well.
There was no secret who they were trying to get the football to.
Well, no. They went to him on first down, second down, third down, all three incomplete.
Yeah, and when you're unable to connect and you force it in that direction, all you're doing is giving confidence to the defense. They feel like they're really hurting you in a big way.
A great return there of 22 yards. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. They have to be pleased with the way that they moved the football thus far.
And why wouldn't they be? 2 touchdowns on a field goal in their first 3 possessions. They're playing so well right now, the field goal probably feels like a disappointment.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
They run with Hines. And he's got this down to the 35. It's an Eagles first down on a gain of 11.
Let's go.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. On play action, Wentz. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Miles Jack with a sack.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things has gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Wentz. That's complete to Hines out of the backfield. And he gets it down to the 32. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is a modern version of workhorse.
And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Montez Sweat able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Well, that's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a 2nd one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
We know that Gano has that big leg. He had the longest made field goal in the NFL last year, 63 yards to beat the Giants in Week 4. That was the longest game winner in NFL history, and he converts from long here again. As this unit comes back out there, let's focus in on Darius Geis. And I'm wondering if maybe they don't go away from him on this drive a little bit. He's been great, but they haven't scored a lot of points.
I think they still have to show him as a...
Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. A sack by Brandon Graham. He's been doing that since he entered the league in 2010. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Now it's Haskins. He'll go over the middle to Reed, complete. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end. A guy that you can line up anywhere. In the slot, out wide, in tight. Doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Another dangerous throw there, partner. I mean, he's already thrown 2 interceptions here in the first half. I don't know if you want to keep throwing up 50-50 balls, and you've had that kind of lack of success.
Yeah, absolutely. Very well could have been a 3rd interception in half number 1. And they'll go ahead and down this one right on the chalk of the 20-yard line. The rest of his offensive unit heading onto the field. And it's actually been out of the backfield, handing the ball off where they've had a lot of success. So if you're the quarterback, do you just maybe say, you know, maybe this isn't my day, our running game's going so well. And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack. Jonathan Allen, credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Throwing now is Wentz. And the reception made by Alshon Jeffrey. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for third down. Now a play fake. Wentz. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's fourth down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
A minute 55 left to go in the first half of play. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in his second week of the regular season. A nice-looking play to start the drive. Down the middle and complete. Nice way to start the drive. A gain of 12 and a first down. Haskins now 8 of 17 so far, so under 50%, but he's got a 1st and 10. Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
Throwing again on second down. Haskins. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down. The Redskins on third down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Here's Haskins. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Taking chances, a little bit of a Gruden family trait, as Jay says, let's go here on 4th down. Now it's Haskins. And he finds McLaurin. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Terry McLaurin, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Redskins are able to close the gap just a bit. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a 2nd one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. Alshon Jeffrey working his way back out there now to help lead this offense. Second quarter here, he has only 1 catch, but they have the lead. You got to think there's going to be more involved at some point.
That's what you would expect, but sometimes what defenses do to take away a player of his magnitude, it costs them in other areas. And right now, with them losing, they may have to change their focus, and maybe he will open up a little bit more as the game goes on.
Yeah, well, so far, just the single catch. Now Wentz. They'll try and set up the screen to Hines. Now the Eagles will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
Go. Ready? Get that quarterback. Kill.
To throw again on second down. Wentz looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Hines. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 12 yards there and a first down. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
Wentz now, only 1 pass has hit the ground for him. 10 of 11 thus far. It's 1st and 10. To throw, it's Wentz. Right side caught by Jackson. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. Wentz going to lead his guys out 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And now a timeout defensively after that first down play. So they're going to make this offense sweat out half number 1. So on 2nd down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. On the left hash, this from 48 yards. And the 11-year veteran bangs it through, and that will swell the lead to 16. So a big play before the end of the half to get him into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal. Not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
After knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'm going to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
So after the penalty, we'll have one final untimed play. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the third quarter gets underway. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Eagles now as he'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a first down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Play action. Now Wentz. Gonna look deep for Jeffrey, and he fires one that's intercepted. Monte Nicholson picks it. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
12 yards is the pickup, and it's good for a Washington first down. Back to the ground on first, it's Geis. He's able to work free for about 6 down to the 18.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
On second down and 4, Haskins. And he slings one that's incomplete.
He's got to be kicking himself right there. His team's already picked off 2 passes. That would have been the 3rd in the game. And boy, they've really played well attacking the football.
Now Haskins to throw it. That is caught at the 7-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. Gotta figure this is one they need here on 3rd and goal. It's caught. Touchdown, Washington. Terry McLaurin, his second touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year, as they are able to cut into that lead. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the 3rd quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there was an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard and you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
And that almost makes it a brand-new ballgame. Now it's a one-score affair after they get the 2.
And you have to know they were holding their breath on the 2-point play because they had to have it to get it within the range that you just talked about. Dialed up their 2-point play. It worked. Now they're feeling like they've got a shot at this one.
So the lead trimmed down to 8 as here comes the kickoff, and it's away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Carson Wentz, along with his offense, heading back out there for their next possession. The lead is theirs here in the 3rd quarter, but it's really been the ground game that's been the recipe for success.
You mean the spotlight isn't shining as brightly on the guy throwing it?
No, it's the man behind him that's had a heck of a game.
And that's really okay. That's actually what you're looking for. I mean, your pride tells you, hey, I want to be responsible, I want to throw a bunch of touchdown passes. But when you're able to run the football, typically speaking, your team's doing pretty well. And in this case, they're winning.
We'll see if they have balance on this drive. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Wentz now to throw. This short throw caught by Goddard. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise. Because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And it'll be Redskins football now with a 1st and 10. So here are the Redskins now to take over. They're on top here as they come up on a 1st and 10, trying to make amends for that lost week at the hands of Seattle. The drive starts with a completion left side. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Now a handoff. Geis going right. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 7 yards there and a 1st down. From midfield now, Haskins. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. 17 yards that time and a Washington 1st.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Brandon Graham picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Haskins gets this to Reed, and he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
Throw left side complete. It's Richardson. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to their goal line, things stiffened a little bit and forced the field goal.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Now Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. To throw is Wentz. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. Give him a loss of 6 yards, and it brings up 3rd down. Now that screen there on 2nd down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying is one thing. We can second-guess just about every call. But in this case, when you really...
And the Redskins do get to him. He goes down for a sack. Jonathan Allen able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
And that's the 2nd sack of the game, but this player... disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. That's pulled in at the 32. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Elsewhere, they have gone to the 3rd quarter now in Dallas. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. Ezekiel Elliott, he's got over 150 yards on the ground, and he's hit pay dirt once as well. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. 2nd down, Haskins. Throw to the right here, taken in by McLaurin. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 15 yards on the play, 1st down. He's certainly been a huge factor in this one. He's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the 1st.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
The veteran Jamie Collins there on the tackle. Throwing on 2nd down. Haskins.
Well, Brandon, all receivers are trying to make sure that the defender thinks they're going to the middle of the field when they're running the outcut. And that play didn't get it done very well because that one was batted down.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down. It muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. Looking to throw, Haskins. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. The Washington passing game dialed in now. It's a 1st down. On 1st and 10, it's Haskins. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. That will go as a pickup of 7 on the 7th play of the drive. Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. They'll run with Love. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Redskins. Bryce Love with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Redskins are going to retake the lead. Here we go now as we get set for a big 2-point conversion. His pass caught at the 4. And he will get into the end zone to extend the lead by 2 more. So they make the decision. They want a 3-point lead versus a 2-point lead, and they got it. Yeah, at this stage of the game, it seems like the exact right thing to do. Put a little pressure on your defense, but the biggest thing now is you're making the other team chase you. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21-yard line. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going. They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field. Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. On first down, Wentz. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A gain of 32 that time. That could very well be a defining play in this game. A touchdown, that gives them the lead, and they took a major step towards getting there with that big play right there. The throw by Wentz, caught by Jackson. They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And they move this all the way down to the 9. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different. Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing. He can't avoid the pressure. Redskins get there. The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again. On second down now, it's Hines. And they'll get him down right around the 16. And it's Reuben Foster in on the tackle. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play. 3rd and goal. 3rd and goal, option right. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. The keeper good for only 4, and that's going to lead to a 4th down. And, of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week. And I know people get caught up in what you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week. You must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. I think you mixed in a few of those, but most of the plays are just like we saw there. Keep them to short gains, make the fundamental tackle. Well, you talk about clutch. That one was right down Broadway, and this game's all even here in the 4th. Yeah, he didn't leave any doubt, did he? Good snap, good hold, dead center. Almost like a big-time golfer in a major, firing at a pin from the fairway, trying to win the tournament going down the stretch. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. He's been pretty good when he's had time. The issue is, as we see here, a lot of times he hasn't had the time. And a lot of that... Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6. And they hope it'll be that. Accelerating, and off he goes. Touchdown, Washington. Darius Geis, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And they're able to break the tie and move out in front here in this 4th quarter. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2. Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone,
and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
Well, I'm not sure if they drew that play up to score, but it scored indeed. One play on the ground and into the end zone for 6. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. He's been a good workhorse. I know we use the word workhorse a lot, but he's been a good workhorse for him in this one.
No doubt about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you're looking for up here in back, because that means everything's coming together for you. Big guys up front have created space. You've run through it. You've probably gotten some help even from the wide receivers who want to catch passes as opposed to block, but they're helping out too.
Yeah, everyone's pitching in. He's had a good game. Once again here on 2nd and 10. Looking left side, he's got it complete. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. It's a first down on a gain of 10. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On play action, it's Wentz. Caught right side is Jeffrey. And he'll get inside of Washington's 15 before being taken down. Wentz finding his favorite receiver, Jeffrey, on a big one. 54 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. And this is Ertz with it, right side. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be 3rd down.
That was impressive to me because while it was a pass play, they still rallied to the football like they were filling running lanes, and they were able to put the receiver on the ground.
On the delay, here's Hines. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd.
You know, it's become cliche, but we have seen it and observed it. When runners have days like what we're seeing right now, they often take their offensive linemen out for steaks afterwards, don't they? They all go buy them dinner. But after a play like that, he might reduce it, might go to the corner and just grab a hot dog or two, huh?
Hey, I mean, they've still been blocking for him well in this game. They don't get one mulligan up front.
Okay, so what we're saying then is we're going petite filet instead of porterhouse.
8 ounce is good.
All right, just checking.
And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. Geis with a carry on 2nd down. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
And this is an absolutely big 3rd down that's been set up here, partner, and there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here if they have any hopes of winning this game.
Pastor, you said big 3rd down. I'd put the word big in capital letters here. So it's Redskin football here as we welcome you back. They're facing a critical 3rd down now as they try to hold on to this lead. They'll try and get it with Geis. And he will have 1st down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now a run with Geis, and he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8.
Come get some.
It's Geis on the counter. The Eagles will take their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The Redskins on 3rd down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. Here it's 3rd and 3. On 3rd down, here's Love. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there. 3rd and medium, they opted to run instead of pass, and it worked. 1st down. This defense, Charles, they have unraveled here in the 4th.
In a sense, it's like they're being pressed, like in a basketball game, and they just can't get the ball over half court. I mean, no matter what they do, they can't get off the field. They can't slow them down. They're just going up and down the field against them. Yeah, unraveling would be a perfect word for them.
And they'll try the jet sweep here. Oh, no, he lost the football. But this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same.
I don't know about you, but I can hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. If the ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. Oh, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. Tackled that time by Sidney Jones.
This has been an up and down, back and forth type of a game, hasn't it? Maybe this long drive take a little bit of the wind out of their sails, kind of settle things down a little bit.
The Redskins on 3rd down. They've converted 5 times in their many chances thus far. This is 3rd and 10. They'll run with Geis. And he'll get this to the 23, but that'll be well short of what he needed. It'll be a gain of 4, but it won't be enough. It leaves him with a 4th down now. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Redskins, it's a win here in their home opener as they move to 2-0. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Arizona Cardinals. Meanwhile, for the Eagles, they'll fall to 1-1. And they'll try again next week at home against Philadelphia. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.